All right, welcome in. It is time for Total Bases. Our co-host Bryan Leonard is feeling under the weather this morning, so it's a two-man show. Myself, Tokyo Brandon, here to break down the Thursday slate. I don't know why our color is not there. I'm going to bring it back for a second. There we go. Now you can see the bottom bar. You can see all of the, what's going on the site. Of course, the double play package. I think Bryan might be passing on client plays today. For Tokyo Brandon and I, we have, you could get both of us. I had a winner last night with the Angels. It was my only client play for Wednesday. Nice 4% win. And Tokyo Brandon went 3-2. TB, it feels like you win just about every day. We didn't win the parlay though. So we're going to try to get back in the win column there. Talk to me about your night a little bit last night.
Yeah, it's just the two of us, so we can chat a little bit. I went 3-2. I really thought the Skeens game first five would be under 4, but they kind of blew up, hit a grand slam. When a grand slam gets hit, it's kind of hard to hit an under in the game. I'm number one in the last 30 days in MLB profit. So WagerTalk decided to do a $100 off deal for the rest of my baseball season, but the double play with you and I is much more affordable. So that would be a good way to go as well, because we're both winning now. So that was my night. It was a little frustrating. I actually had a chance to go 5-0, but I did win. I did do a very rare no-run first inning in that Pirates game, and I won that. It was only minus 130. I thought, wow. Aaron Getty's numbers against the Pirates were really amazing. So I thought, yeah.
That's a great deal. There was 20 runs in that game. That's actually going to be our feature game. So the fact that you got out of a game that had 20 runs with a winner in a no-run first inning, that's pretty impressive stuff. That was an interesting game to me. Obviously, ended up being a lot more high scoring than any of us expected. The Astros kind of breaking out, 11-9 win. I did kind of like them last night. Again, I think I said I liked them against the spread. Skeens didn't pitch well. That was, kind of, I guess, the big takeaway there. But Tokyo Brandon, the bigger takeaway for me is something that I've brought up a couple times this week, where it's like the Pirates seem a tad overvalued right now, just a little bit. Connor Griffin's out of the lineup, and it's just like this is a team that comes into play now 33-29. I think if you ask the Pirates coming into this season, if they were 33-29, 62 games into the year with 100 games to go, they would have taken that all day. They would have been like, wow, that's great. That's a great start to the season. And now I'm just kind of concerned that it's like they're a little overvalued. And here come the Astros, who are starting to get healthy. So kick us off. Pirates, Astros. It looks like Jones versus Tang.
Yeah, this one's hard to read, to be honest. I know this is going to be the nationally televised game, but hard to read because Jones is uber talented. I remember last year, the year before, when him and Skeens came out, they were like kind of battling to see who's going to be the rookie of the year or whatever. So Jones got hurt. He's kind of faded a little, and now he's come back, but he's still uber talented. The thing is, he got rocked in his first start back. So who do we expect today? Do we expect the uber talent to come forward, or do we expect him to struggle a little more? Because literally this is like his spring training, right? But I think you said in the last show when he started that he looked good in his spring starts. Did you say that?
Looked very good in his spring starts, but he also it was quick. It was like 4-inning type starts, and he kind of like, they were very spread out too. Yeah.
So it's kind of like a spring training still for him. So he's kind of behind everyone else right now. So it's kind of like when you miss 2 weeks of school, you have to catch up with everyone. So, but he missed more than 2 weeks. So I don't know what to expect from him, but he certainly is a lot more talented than Tang in my opinion. On my curve of 30, I take all 250 starters and I curve them on a scale of 30 so I can compare them to the bullpens and the batting. I've got Tang at 17, so he's kind of in the bottom of the middle, kind of. He walks a lot. So on my Twitter X, Tokyo_Brandon, I believe I put my chronic walkers up there, and if I didn't, I will later. But Tang walks almost 3 guys a start. on average. I think it was 3.2 or something like that. So he's a walker, and not really good control. The thing is, both of these bullpens are performing well, which really surprised me about yesterday's score total. But yeah, you're right. The Pirates are a little bit overvalued at this point. I never thought I'd hear myself say that because usually they're undervalued. I got their bullpen ranked 13, but I got their hitting ranked 2 in current form. Astros hitting 17, and their bullpen is 7. So we got 2 solid bullpens here. What do you expect from Jones today? That's going to be the X factor in this.
That's the $1 million question, Tokyo Brandon. What do you expect from Jared Jones? I pulled up here his numbers from his minor league rehab. So here we go. So this is his minor league rehab numbers. Of course, it's not going to sort them for me. I'm going to have to do it. But here we go. In the minors, 2.89 ERA, 18.2 innings. He had a 197 batting average against and a 1.02 whip. That's kind of what I expect from Jared Jones. Now, TB, you made a great point. He missed, not only did he miss spring, he missed all year last year. I mean, he's coming back from a major injury, which is why it was 6. I mean, that's a 18.2 innings, but I believe it was over 5 starts. So that's a pretty healthy, long drawn out rehab. 5 starts in the minors. And then it's like you see this great work in AAA or all over the minors. I think he was an A-ball. I think he did one in Altoona, did one for AAA. But then now you get to the big leagues and he gets rocked by the Twins. That's concerning to me. You know, when the lights went on, I don't know if it was like, hey, he hasn't pitched in a year. That's not a great Twins lineup. And so to get roughed up like that in your first big league game back after kind of throwing it good in the minors is a concern. My general concern with the Pirates, like you said, I was very pro Pirates coming into the year. I still think that they are going to finish far better than their market projection from the beginning of the year. But like, as David Edgington in the chat is saying, can you trust the Pittsburgh bullpen? I don't know, right? It's like there's good, some good arms. Yeah, I would say more often than not this year you've been able to, but there's still some question marks there for me. The Pirates are one of the worst defensive teams in Major League Baseball. That's another concern. Their defensive runs saved are very low. So they're going to give up runs that most other teams wouldn't probably give up. And now you've got the Astros, who have just been sort of hanging around. They've had guys hurt. Josh Hader comes back. They're getting some guys back. They're getting healthy. The bullpen is a little bit better than it was a couple weeks ago. Listen, if Kai Tang hangs around here, I kind of like the Astros. I just think they're a better team right now. I lean toward the Astros in this game.
Yeah, I always like to avoid X factors, and I'd like to see Jones put together a really nice start and pass the eye test before I back him with money. But this Pittsburgh lineup, man, they're just cranking right now, and they've got injuries and they're still cranking it. I would go with the pitcher that I know, which is Tang, and I'd probably go with the Pittsburgh team total over maybe, but that Astros bullpen, usually when teams explode for 20 runs the day before, the next day they tend to cool off. It's just logic. It's just like Darwin's theory or whatever I'm trying to say. But usually they cool off the next day. So I'm going to stay away from this game for several reasons.
Yeah, Slick Vic, listen, the Pirates offense has been very good, but like I almost look at it a little bit and I'm like, you take Connor Griffin out of the lineup. He was starting to hit the ball well. He was starting to really produce for them. Is there regression with this team? There probably is. It's going to be hard for me to get to the window in the short term with the Pirates. I don't know if I like the Astros enough to bet it here, but that's just the way I lean in this game. All right, Mike, let's talk about this one. I'm kind of with you. I'm kind of with this comment a little bit. Okay. He says Milwaukee, San Francisco. So we're going to talk Giants, Brewers. I don't understand Coleman Crow being close to a $2 favorite. I'll ride with San Francisco money line. Well, I guess so. Tokyo Brandon, Brewers, Giants. I suppose that this line has to do with like how this series has gone to this point, right? Like this is, I understand that the Giants won 1-0 last night, but the 2 previous games in this series were 16-2 Brewers, and 8-3 Brewers. And they've basically been a $2 favorite all series. So I kind of feel like the books are just saying, yeah, we see Coleman Crow. You're probably going to get some bullpen arms for the Brewers. We're just going to kind of throw that $2 price back out there. I kind of don't agree with it either, though. I think the Giants are a little bit live here. How are you seeing Giants Brewers?
Yeah, we're betting prices. I said in a video on my YouTube channel, I said, betting baseball is like buying a car. Everyone wants to buy a Lamborghini, but if it's $200,000, you might not go buy it. But if you could buy a Lamborghini for $50,000, you'll buy it. You'll buy 10 of them and sell them, right? So this is what buying the Reds or buying the Yankees is. You're buying a price. So is it worth the price is what you always have to ask yourself. So that in mind, the Brewers bullpen, the Brewers are a very well put together team. They don't have a lot of star power, but they're very well put together. And their bullpen's performing really well as well. But Hauser is not a guy I like to back.
Me either.
Has never been a guy I like to back. But then again, I don't know what I'm going to get from Crow because I got him ranked 20 on my scale of 30. And I've got San Francisco's bullpen 29 out of 30 right now. But I've got their hitting ranked 3. So that tends, and the scores you just rattled off as well, make me think this is going to be over. Because two lineups that are producing right now, Milwaukee's bullpen is good, but they probably won't be coming in until Crow gets rocked. Or Hauser gets rocked. I think both of these pitchers have a propensity to get rocked, shall we say.
I'm just going to kind of, I'll speak on this for a second. He says, I think we're close to sell on the Brewers. Well, from a price standpoint, yeah, there is no question that the Brewers are laying premium numbers on a day-to-day basis at this point. Do I want to sell them? I'm not sure because like Tokyo Brandon said, this is a really good baseball team, well put together. Their pitching coaches all throughout that organization are so good. Just look at what Kyle Harrison has done so far this year. Look what they've been. I mean, not to mention, they have a generational flamethrower in Jacob Mizorowski, but like to get what they're getting out of Harrison. And then it's just like the list goes on. It's like they have a guy that gets hurt. And then there's another like legitimate starting pitcher waiting in the wings. Coleman Crow's had a really good year down in Nashville. They've got a kid named Tyson Harden that just got called up from AA to AAA, and they're probably going to bring him up soon because he's been that good. And then you've got all these young guys. So what the Brewers have done, they have really assembled a contender here. I think this Brewers team is going to be in the mix, TB. They will be at the finish line in the National League. I don't know if they'll make the NLCS or if they'll make the World Series, but they will be in a competitive playoff series very close to the World Series, in my opinion, this year. So, I don't know if I want to sell them just okay, it's time to fade the Brewers. But I do think you can make a case that the prices are getting up there and the Giants have more. I still think the Giants have more talent than has been shown to this point in the year. TB, my gut says the Giants have a little bit of a run in them at some point. So I am kind of interested in that big price with the Giants. I like the Giants plus 1.5.
Yeah, the bullpen is a little scary, and also Milwaukee, man, juggernaut at home, 21-12 at home, a 37-22 record. They're kind of like the Tigers last year. They have one of the best records in MLB, but nobody notices kind of thing. So, but yeah, in today's game, I would probably trust Crow more than Hauser, but not a lot more.
I think you kind of nailed it. I think you're just kind of hoping that Adrian Hauser can get you 5 good innings. The reason I like the plus 1.5, right? You're with the Giants. They're on the road. So you kind of get the built-in extra at bat. It's not very expensive. So you're looking at plus 1.5, minus 125. And I think you just kind of hope and pray that Hauser gets you through 5 and has a start similar to the one he had against the A's, 1 run over 6 innings. Against the Dodgers, 2 runs over 5 2/3. Against the Padres, 1 run, 2 runs, 1 earned over 6 innings. If Hauser can survive 5 here and give you that, I kind of think this is a very competitive game like yesterday, in which case I'd want the +1.5. So I pretty strong lean here to me, Giants +1.5. Not sure if it'll be my parlay leg, but that is where I am looking in this game.
Many times sports betting is hoping and praying.
Yeah, I mean, because think about it, TB. Like, if you're sitting there and Adrian Hauser gives up a 5 spot in the second inning, you're not surprised about that. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
You're like, oh, shit.
Right.
It has to be a thought. But I do think it's possible, given some of his recent form, that he gives you 5 or 6 good innings, and then you're sitting there. If you can get to the late innings of this game with a Giants +1.5 or a Giants plus money at that price, I still think the Giants are going to start winning some baseball games. So, again, I like the Giants, but I haven't bet it yet. All right, let's head. We got a couple of donations. Let's shout out the donations. I will go in order. I'm going to go to Alex Rand first. He says, thoughts on Red Sox Orioles. I'm feeling the O's, TB. I'm kind of feeling the O's too. This is Trevor Rogers, Brian Bayo, I believe, for the Red Sox. Totally looked good, and the Red Sox looked good last night. Do the Orioles bounce back here?
Yeah, I like Rogers better than Bayo, but the problem is he's got a walk problem. He's walking 60% of the guys he's striking out, which is kind of on the precipice of being outside of my strike zone for liking someone. Orioles bullpen not performing that well, and Red Sox bullpen performing really well, but both teams hitting quite well right now. Bayo is awful though, and he's just awful. I have a ranking of 250 starting pitchers, and Bayo's in the bottom 5 of 250 guys. So that's how bad he's been. I saw someone in the comments saying he's pitching well lately. He might be, but overall, his body of work, as they like to say in college football, is quite poor. So I think this game should go over, in my opinion. Yesterday, the Orioles scored nothing, right? They got blanked, didn't they? 9-0 or something like that, was it? So,
It was basically that. I think they tacked on 1 run in the 7th, but that was after the game was over. It was 8-0 for the majority.
Yeah, I kind of lost interest after it was like 7-0. I'm like, all right, they cashed it in. So, but I didn't have that game. But, teams tend to bounce back, especially a team that scores more than 4 runs a game. Should be able to score on Bayo. Boston's bullpen scares me a little, but I think an Orioles team total over could be in the works here. This is the rubber match for the series, right? I think they're 1-1 right now. So, I think the Orioles will score a few runs here. I would take Orioles over 4.5, maybe, if that's what it is.
TB, I'm gonna jump in with you on this one. I kind of like the over as well. I do not. So I'll say a couple things here. Brian Bayo, I don't like at all. I'm with you. I'm pretty out on him. I have him rated as one of the worst starters in Major League Baseball. I think he's near the bottom of your list as well.
He's worse than Scott Baio.
Was he like Charles in Charge or something?
Charles in Charge and Happy Days.
Yeah, I have some 80s. I was born in 1986, so I wasn't really like cognizant of a lot of the stuff going on in the 80s.
Right.
But
Happy Days
I watched
Charles in Charge. Yeah, he was Chachi on Happy Days as well.
I watch reruns, but at any rate,
better than Brian Bayo.
Sometimes I would agree with you. The one time I'll say, here's the thing that Bayo has going for him in this game. He does keep the ball on the ground, okay? And the wind is blowing out at Fenway today, I guess. But here's the problem with that. He keeps the ball on the ground, but it's getting hit very hard on the ground. It doesn't, just because you're getting a lot of ground balls, if you're giving up 100-mile-an-hour rockets on the ground, those tend to go for hits at times. And so even though the wind is blowing out, and yes, he's a ground ball pitcher, he's getting squared up, so it probably doesn't matter. Trevor Rogers will give up some fly balls. So Fenway, the Red Sox, they hit better at home. It's a good hitter park. And that's been Trevor Rogers' problem this year, is he's left balls up and left them over the plate. So does he get taken deep a couple times today? Maybe. I would say it's very possible. And then here's the final thing, Tokyo Brandon. Trevor Rogers, and this is why I like the Orioles a little bit. I had Trevor Rogers 5% play in his last start. It was a gut-wrenching defeat for your boy. That was Trevor Rogers took a shutout into the 7th inning. I felt like they left him in too long. He gave up 4 runs in the 7th to allow the Blue Jays to get back into that game and eventually win the game. Prior to that, he pitched great. He was great prior to that, prior to the big inning in the 7th inning. So you take that, you look at his last start, and it's like, it doesn't look as good as it actually was. For 6 innings, he was very, very good. He was the Trevor Rogers that I think you and I have kind of expected to see this year. Mm-hmm. And then he had 1 bad inning. Alex, I like the Orioles here too. I haven't played them yet. They were even money a little bit earlier, even at like minus 105. I kind of think I would side with the Orioles over the Red Sox. And if you can't stomach a side here, is the total a 9 flat? Because I'm projecting like 9. I think I'm at like 9.7 runs when you factor in the weather.
Yeah, it's 9.
Listen, over 9 with some of the wind blowing out and some of those potential for like long balls on both sides. I think over 9 makes some sense here too. So there you go, Alex. 2 ways you can go about that game, in my opinion. O's and overs, the way I would look.
Yep.
All right, let's head back to the chat. I will promo the website again, WagerTalk.com. That's where you can find all of my plays, all of Tokyo Brandon's plays. And if you want both of our plays, you can get them both. Double play package. TB, what's that coupon code right now? TB100.
Ooh,
this is the treatment. Like when you're number 1, this is the treatment that you get. Yeah, you get the special coupon code.
TB100 gets you $100 off for my full season through the World Series for baseball. But I don't want to promote myself completely while Adam's here. So you can get a double play with him and I, which is actually a more affordable price. So either way you go, you probably will be winning some money. So
yeah, and here's the other thing too. I think, how long are you guys running how long are they going to let you run that TB100 promo? Probably
they did not tell me, but it should be at least a week.
Right. So yeah, TB's all over the top of the boards. As we've said on the show, many times it's hard to get there. It's even harder to stay up there. So when you do get up there, you just try to put your head down and like any other day. But it's nice that you're getting the rub for being on the top of the leaderboard where TB, I got to be honest, I don't remember the last time that we've showed up and I've asked you how your day has went and you said, oh, I've had a losing day. Very, very rarely over the last like 30 days or so. So shout out to you. And check out that TB100 for Tokyo Brandon's full baseball season. If you just want the 2 of us for a couple days, get you through the weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we're both going to have plays all 3 days. I'm actually, I think I'm on a 6-1 run on the bases going into today. So check out that double play package. And Mike Scott, Tokyo Brandon has been electric in this segment. Yesterday he brought up. So when you guys asked yesterday for the team total, we ended up in the Rockies-Angels game, which I ended up having a client play in, which won. I believe all of the team total overs got there because I think the final was 11-4, and both teams hit their team total over. And I think you even had, even though the Pirates total didn't get there, I believe the Mariners one did. So props to you for the team total focus for the donation yesterday. So today, Mike Scott says, good morning from Seattle. Sorry, Mike Scott, if you're a Mariners fan, that the winning streak is now over. It's finally done. It got snapped yesterday. But he says, been dealing with a foot injury and car issues. Finally caught y'all live. Well, hopefully you've been able to fix both of those things. We love having you in the chat. And what he says is, please give me and the people a team total you like. So Tokyo Brandon, try to find one in one of the games that we have not talked about yet. But he's got one. So yeah, TB, I think you said Orioles would be an option. I keep muting myself. Thank God Brian's not here to yell at me for doing that. List off. So if we've talked about any to this point team totals in previous games, you can just recall them. But give us the game for Mike Scott that you're looking at a team total in.
Yeah. Well, first off, I think the Orioles team total is good, but we just talked about that to the over. But I have a good one that I like that I haven't put out yet, but I'm seriously considering it. And it's an early game. So let's talk about the Phillies Padres game for just a minute here. We've got Wheeler going against Giolito, and Giolito when he was with the White Sox, man, he was like one of those elite pitchers, right? But then he had some injury problems, got traded, hasn't really settled down. He's looking pretty good though since he came back this year. Well, his ERA is teetering on 5 or less than 5, so that I can't say he's looking good, but he's passing the eye test, and he's 2-0 for what it's worth. Wheeler just hit the ground running, man. He became Wheeler as soon as he started. He didn't do this Jones stuff where he blew up in his first start, right? Wheeler hit the ground running. He's looking awesome, and he has great numbers against these Padres in his history. I put them on my Twitter X, Tokyo_Brandon. Brandon. You can see I've got the pitcher matchup rankings, and Wheeler is close to the top of the list. Padres right now, I have them hitting 27 in Major League Baseball. Yes, the Padres are the thorn in my side, but I think their team total under 3.5 would be a good play here, because not only the stats against Wheeler, and we know, you know as well as I do, Adam, Wheeler almost always goes 7 innings when he pitches. Not too much reliance on the bullpen, but even if they do, Phillies bullpen right now is ranked number 5 on my rankings. So I don't see the Padres breaking out 4 runs here. I don't see it. I haven't played it, but if you want a team total, that's one that I'm eyeing.
Yeah, this is an interesting one because I had the same when I saw this, I had the same reaction as Alex. Man, minus 215 on a Phillies bullpen, or on a Phillies team that, yeah, Zach Wheeler's going to drive the price up, but their bullpen's been used up a little bit this week. And the Padres, again, TB, we both complain about this team. And here's, it's not just like, here's the problem with the Padres. I don't think they're a very good team, but they find ways to win. So it's like, I've been far lower than the market on the Padres a lot of this year. And yet here they are at 32-28. Like, that's it. And that's actually much worse than they were 2 weeks ago. Remember, this team has now lost, I think, 8 of their last 9 games. So if you rewind 2 weeks, I think we all came on and said the Padres are way overvalued, right? Like, this is a team that is just way overvalued relative to, at least for me, where I thought they were going to be coming into the season. Now, though, like in the short term, I kind of think it's swung too far. And you talk about these two teams have now played. This will be the 6th game they've played in this stretch. The Padres got swept by the Phillies at home, all games in which were kind of competitive, close games. 3-0, 4-3, 3-0. Now they come here and they've lost 2 games that are 3-2, 3-2. My gut says the Padres steal one here. I don't love it. Like, I can't stand this team. I'm not super high on Giolito, but this is another one, kind of like the Giants, where I do see ways where this gets into a close game. Like, if Giolito can survive, and the Phillies offense outside of the big couple guys is not elite in my opinion. If
I have him dead last right now. I have him dead last.
There you go. Right. So TB, how much credit do you think the Phillies get for the name on the front of the jersey and then like the Harper, Schwarber, Turner trio, right?
A lot, because we mentioned this at the shows at the beginning of the season. If their big 3 don't produce, they've got nothing.
Lineup is not good outside of those 3 guys. It just there is really, that is a very manageable lineup when you get outside the superstar guys. And so Mark Lambert's the same record. I'll take the plus 180. Yeah, like I could only bet the Pirates here, and the Padres, sorry. And this is another one where I take that plus 1.5. If you can survive with Giolito, this is almost the same game. It's actually not the same game because I don't think the Phillies are even close to as elite as the Brewers. Like, I think this Phillies team is beatable. I'm actually kind of shocked that now we're looking at the 6th game in the last 2 weeks that these two teams have played against each other, and the Padres have not won one yet. That's crazy to me because all of the games have been kind of competitive. And then back-to-back 1-run losses. My gut says the Padres steal this one. It's a day game. And if they don't, I think it's another 1-run game. So I like Padres plus 1.5. It's another one I'm considering today.
To add a little credence to that argument, yeah, I got the Padres ranked, what did I say, 27 out of 30, and I've got the Phillies ranked 30 out of 30 in run production current form. Both bullpens decent, but Phillies bullpen's really good. And we got two decent pitchers. You say survive Giolito. Giolito's not mincemeat, he's
I would agree with that.
Yeah, he's all right. Yeah. He's all right. So maybe an under in this one.
Well, so I was going to say, I'm not trying to, I have no issues with your team total under. I show slight value to the under on the full game total. I'm just saying, like, I wouldn't be that surprised if it's like 3-2, 2-1, 4-3. Again, like that is the type of game I'll be surprised if you don't get, I'll tell you what, if you don't get that type of game, it's going to be because the Phillies no-showed today and they just didn't really care. And then they've done enough. They've already beat this team 5 times. They no-showed and they got beat like 6-0 or 6-1. And that would mean Giolito had a pretty good game. But again, like you said, we don't have a big enough sample on Giolito for this year to be like, oh, he's not still a pretty good pitcher, because at times he was very good last year.
Yeah, he's not bad. And these two teams have played 2 identical 3-2 games. So. Right.
And then the last series they played a couple of like 3-0 games. Like they've literally played this game almost every single time. I forget the score, what the score was for the other one, but it was the 2 games in the last series that didn't end 3-0 was another low scoring 1-run game. Like, to me, this screams low scoring 1-run game again. Like, we've seen the same game 5 times now. Why would it be any different today? It's kind of.
Let me ask you a question real quick. Would you? Yeah. If I told you must bet $50 today, would you bet the under 4.5 in the first 5 for this game, or would you bet the full game under 8.5?
I think I'd take the first 5 only because I think where the Phillies may get undone by some of that bullpen usage. Remember, they've had to grind out back-to-back 3-2 wins. And they've been winning lately. So when you win a lot of games like the Phillies have done lately, those leverage arms are getting used up, and the Phillies do not have bullpen depth this year, in my opinion. So I'd target first 5.
I would agree with that. So I might make that my parlay leg. Let's do that. I'm going to take first 5 under 4.5 for this game, and the odds for that are -115. I'll take that. Because
under 4.5,
these are 2 of the worst run-producing lineups in current form right now. And Wheeler is a stud. And Giolito, I think Giolito is going to be better than he has been. So I like him, actually. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I think there's correlation there with liking the Padres. I kind of feel like for the Padres to win this game, it needs to be a decent Giolito start. And you know what, Tokyo Brandon? I'm like that 8.5 for the full game is still playable, in my opinion. Like I was just telling you asked me which one I liked better. I would want to take the Phillies bullpen out of it, but I still would be surprised if there's more than 8 runs in this game. That would still surprise me. I'm at 7.09. So that's actually a pretty big edge. No wind. That's a pretty big edge. And then I would probably tweak it maybe a little bit more because the Phillies have had some bullpen usage. But I'm showing like a full run of value even on that full game total as well.
I've got 6.89. So
yeah, there you go.
But things are funny. It could explode. We could be wrong, but that's why they play the game, guys. But you have to go with what you think it's going to be and roll the dice. I always correlate sports betting to releasing a pigeon in the wind and predicting it's going to fly left. Yeah,
you tell it to fly left. You don't know where it's going to go for sure.
Once you put your bet out, you have no control over it. You just have to watch. But you have to bet what you think is going to happen. And that's why we've been successful doing it, because we're right more than we're wrong.
It's the name of the game. All right, Jack Barco, welcome in. He says, first time I've caught you guys live in a while. Would love to hear you talk some Twins baseball. We can absolutely do that. Jack wants to talk Twins Royals. This game's gonna occur out in Minnesota tonight, Minneapolis Target Field. Tokyo Brandon, I think we were both surprised earlier in the week when the Twins took 2 of 3 from the White Sox. I like the White Sox that whole series pretty much, and the Twins 2 really good games, and then yesterday they get shut out 8-0. This is. You know what? I want you to kick this one off. I don't even want to say anything yet. Just instant reaction for Jack, and then I'll react to you. Start us off with Twins Royals, and do you have anything for this game?
So the Royals, one of the worst teams in MLB, actually, as far as what they rank in bullpen and run production. And I unfortunately had them bet against them. I took the Reds yesterday and got burned a little bit. Chase Burns looked more like George Burns yesterday. He was bad. And the Royals took the game, but I don't think lightning strikes twice. I think the Twins are a better team here. Got the Twins ranked pretty mediocre in almost everything. Got Andrew Morris ranked kind of high, but I don't put credence in that. I don't have so
TB, let me throw this out there to you. I believe that this is a true bullpen game for the Twins. So I think Andrew Morris is a 1-inning guy. I don't even know if they have a bulk guy. It sounds like this is a true bullpen game.
Yeah. So mediocre bullpen, fairly decent hitting. Twins basically are just an overall very mediocre team, in my opinion. And their record kind of shows that 29-34, but they do have a winning record at home. The Chiefs, the Royals they rank 24th or worst in every single category that I have rankings for. So, although I used to like Lugo, but he hasn't looked real good. So yeah, I would say Twins are nothing, but I'm not going to bet it. Too many X factors for me.
Yeah, TB, I kind of think that's where I'm at too. Listen, the Twins, their bullpen is not great. Hasn't been great all year. This is a true bullpen game. So that means you're going to have to survive 9 innings of the Twins mixing and matching. Now, coming off of an 8-0 loss where they didn't really use any of their leverage guys, that's not the worst thing in the world. However, they have had a couple injuries to relievers. I don't really care for Lugo either. I still think Lugo's a tad overvalued, overrated. So it's like, yeah, I'd love to find a way to take the Twins here because I still like the Twins better than the Royals. That's the thing. Going back to the beginning of the year, I'm still higher on the Twins relative to market than I am the Royals. I was impressed with the Twins in that series with the White Sox. That was a impressive taking 2 of 3. And of course, yesterday was the game where they kind of got crushed and didn't use any of their bullpen and said, you know what, we'll go ahead and live to fight another day and we'll play tomorrow. So that I do like. And I've been very vocal about not liking the Royals this year, but I'm worried about surviving 9 with this Twins bullpen. That's my only concern. I'll have to see if I can stomach that because right now, if you can still get Twins at slight plus money, that's probably the way to go. Sports fan, yeah, your comments are showing. So I'm going to take this opportunity to promote the WagerTalk YouTube channel, which is dangerously close to 250,000 subscribers. So here's how this works. If you are subscribed to the YouTube channel, you have an option to, you can follow the YouTube channel and then you have, okay, let me start over. TV, I'm tripping over my words here. If you subscribe to the YouTube channel, you have the option to join the channel. It's like $2.99 a month or something like that. That is going to prioritize your comments in the live chat. Okay. So like, I didn't really see, we get a lot of comments on the show, even during the live show. If you're joined the channel for that $2 a month or whatever it is, your comments will show up in the super chat category, I believe, or they'll at least show up in green. And then if you don't, any donation is going to get flagged and show up in the super chat. That's all. I'm just putting that out there. I mean, honestly, Russell Deck, yeah, if you can smack the like button, we'll take the likes. Subscribing to the channel is huge for us right now. I still want to know what we're getting, TB, when we hit 250. Is there a part? Do we get a party or something? Like, I don't know, but it would still be pretty cool to do it anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah,
maybe they'll make some graphics for our show for us.
So what, Kansas City 3-9 on the road in the last 12. Yeah, I've been vocal about this. I don't like this Royals team. I just don't think they're very good. And they haven't been.
They're one of the worst in MLB. I think they are. I mean, it's very rare I see one team that ranks 25th or worse in every single category that I rank.
I keep seeing even like respected bettors keep saying like, oh, it's time to buy the Royals, bet them to win the AL Central, take these futures on the Royals. I just don't see it. I haven't seen it all year. With people that are tuned in that I know like a month ago were like time to bet the Royals. And I was like, why? This team just doesn't do it for me. I think they're going to be like
yeah. Sorry to interrupt. I love Bobby Witt though. He's great. He's a great multi-tool talent. Love watching him. But that's about all they got going for him. They got a 60-year-old catcher.
60-year-old catcher, right? Like Pasquantino's not great. I mean, like, you know, Caglianone's underachieved a little bit. Yeah. And there's really they don't really have.
Pasquantino killed my bet yesterday.
Yeah, it's just like, again, like just where they've been priced all year, and even still 14 games under 500. Like the books are still not giving you bargain prices on the Royals. They're actually kind of giving you a bargain, making the Twins an underdog here, in my opinion. So again, I don't know if I want to sweat that bullpen, but I certainly lean the Twins. And, you know, I think they could ask Andrew Morris for 2. If he has an economical first inning, he'll probably come out for a second. He was a guy. So this is one other comment I've made a week ago on the show. At St. Paul, at the AAA level right now, at St. Paul, they have all they're doing is creating these like 3 to 4 inning guys. And I'm starting to wonder, are the Twins, is this what do the Twins want to go bullpen game here? It's almost very Tigers-esque from a couple years ago. Like TB, think about it. If you're at St. Paul, Andrew Morris at St. Paul would come in, he'd start a game, he'd throw 4 innings and he was out. If you start to get guys that are like really good once through the order, it might actually be better than like what the Twins currently have for a starting rotation. So the more we talk about it, the more I like the Twins here.
Another thing is, you know, a lot of times managers will take a look and see approach. And if he seems to be handling his water or handling his alcohol, they'll just leave him out there for 4 innings. And it happens a lot. These guys who nobody's ever heard of, they go out there and they'll throw 4 scoreless innings and you're halfway through the game.
It happened in the game. I took a loss on Tuesday in the Marlins Nationals game, and that's exactly what happened. They had a guy come in for an opener. I'm pretty sure the idea was, let's see if he can get through the order. Let's see if he can get us through 1 inning. Maybe we'll go 2. The Nats couldn't hit him. He ended up going like 4 innings. So yeah, you never really know. And Andrew Morris is that kind of guy. Like if he's running good, he'll probably go 3 or 4. So yeah, it's a good point.
I just read a comment saying if we get 250,000 subscribers, we get to have dinner with Prez. Whoopee. That's always. I've had dinner with Prez before. It's always a good time. He is always. I'll tell you guys what. I'll tell you something. Prez is like one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet in person. He's not his WagerTalk video personality. He's actually a sincere, nice guy.
Oh, he was still his personality, but he's great. He still puts on a show at dinner. Don't get me wrong. Like he doesn't come in and he brings the heat no matter what. Yeah, for sure.
He's not annoying. Let's just say that.
All right, let's see. I'm going to go. We got one more game to talk about. And then I'm pretty sure. No, I actually know. We've definitely talked. Thank you, Jack. Jack says, had to join. Thanks, gents. Listen, we appreciate you guys. Coming here every day, interacting. It's huge for the show. It's the reason we still have a show. Look around. There's not many shows. Wager Talk's going more toward like pre-recorded video. And, I fought to keep this show because I think this is what you guys, at least the people that show up on a regular basis, want, is this like sort of going through the games, interacting with the chat, answering your questions. It only works if you guys continue to support the show with likes, subscribes, and the donations all go to charity. Jack says, Goats, we appreciate you. Every dime that is donated to the show ends up getting donated to a charity. Whichever one, Wager Talk works with a couple. That's something that our home office is great about. They're always doing some donation. Yep. And every dime donated on the YouTube show goes to a charity. We've worked with Operation Village in the past, some other ones. So yeah, we very much appreciate you guys showing up every day. It gives us the ability to come and do this 6 days a week. All right. So we've already talked about my parlay league. I don't know what it is yet, but I know we've already talked about it. Lucas says, Trigg, do you have any hits, runs, RBI hitter props? So I will let me throw another game out there and we'll talk about some hits, runs, RBI hitter props. A's Cubs might have some fireworks today, Tokyo Brandon. I think that wind is blowing out at Wrigley. However, I wouldn't be that surprised if the fireworks come from the visitors because I like JT Ginn. And Imanaga I kind of think he might be prone to giving up a bomb or two. And he's going to be priced as the favorite. He's not a super hard thrower. Kind of day where, man, if he gives up a fly ball that's up in the jet stream a little bit, things probably leave in the yard. So I would look at A's because they swing the bats too. Listen, the A's, it's a free swinging bunch. It's bat to ball. And Imanaga, I think they can put the bat on the ball. So that's how I would look. But talk to me about A's Cubs. And specifically, do you see any props for hitters in this game?
I do, actually. There's a couple I'm looking at. Sorry to beat a dead horse. I don't know if we're allowed to say that in this day and age anymore. More ways to skin a cat or whatever. That's how I talk. But anyway, back to the Phillies Padres game. Manny Machado has struggled mightily against Zach Wheeler in his career. So I think a Manny Machado under total bases or hits, runs, RBIs would be a good bet. And also the guy who I completely trashed the other day, and then he hit 2 home runs the same day I trashed him, Mookie Betts, has great numbers against Ryan Nelson. So that might be someone to back in your hitter prop as well. Those are just 2 off the top of my head.
I actually make JT Ginn and the A's over Imanaga a very, very slight favorite. Now, I need to go back and maybe recalculate that a little bit because to me, like the Cubs I have a soft spot for this Cubs team. I love the way that they grind and battle at the plate. And I haven't been dying to bet against them. I talked about it earlier in the week. Brian, our co-host, who hopefully will be back tomorrow. He's not feeling great today. He really liked the A's when Gage Jump was on the mound, and they got there. And Gage Jump actually pitched pretty good in that game. I feel the same way about JT Ginn. I think he's undervalued. I think he's better than where the market consistently prices him. Now, A's on the road against the Cubs. I still really like this Cubs team. I think they have really good at-bats. Mark Lambert says PCA, hits, runs, RBIs. I love PCA. Like you want to talk about like a guy that's just got like this unlimited like toolbox, right? TB of just like the guy is just so naturally talented. I think he just needs to lock in a little bit and needs to focus. But one thing I've noticed about PCA, a lot of hard hit outs. Mark Lambert, I don't hate that one either. That's a good look. PCA's had a couple of more than a couple. He's had some 100-mile-an-hour off the bat outs over the last week, and that is usually a sign of someone that's about to go on a tear because, TB, if you're hitting the ball 100 miles an hour, it's not going to go at guys forever. That's usually a sign of someone ready to turn the corner.
Yeah. If you're hitting at 100 miles an hour, pretty much no matter what angle you're hitting it, as long as it's not foul, you're probably getting on base because that's a hard ball to field. And even if it doesn't go over the fence, it's probably going over at least one person's head. So I totally agree with you. You need to highlight Andy's comment. He gave us a huge compliment.
Oh, I got it. Yeah, I did. You know what? I saw that in there.
I like when people give me compliments. I want to see it,
Yeah, and that's what I'm talking about with
even
the
if it's a man. I like getting compliments from women better, but I'll take it from Andy as well. Andy said he's the best. Andy's the best. And listen, I mean, Andy and Carmine are like 2 of the nicest guys you're ever going to meet in your life.
Listen, getting a compliment about being prepared for a show for Andy that has to literally prepare for like everyone else's sports. Like, listen, I could kind of talk baseball in my sleep. Obviously, if you don't know, Andy hosts Wager Talk Today, the flagship show on this network, noon every day on the Wager Talk channel. And like, if he's going to have a guest on that's going to talk hockey, like he's got to be prepared for hockey. If he's going to talk soccer, he's got to be prepared for soccer. So that is a huge compliment. We appreciate Andy. You guys should be tuning in Wager Talk Today. It is especially, we got the World Cup around the corner. We have a bunch of good soccer handicappers
NBA
on the site.
playoffs.
That's NBA playoffs still going. The hockey is still going. But we appreciate, I'll read it again. Doing a show based on what the live comments say and being prepared is mind blowing. Seriously, people don't realize how hard this is. Tip of the cap. Yeah. It's, especially with baseball, where it's so numbers oriented. Like, I hope that sometimes when I gloss over maybe like a certain number, it's just, I didn't have it at the fingertips, but it's like the 3 of us really, we're tuned in daily. We do this all day, every day. Like we know what we're talking about. So that's what we're trying to do is come here and just give you guys good info and give you a couple picks, Tokyo Brandon, which is what it's my turn to do. I got to find a winner so we can win this 2-teamer, because the first couple days of the week we kept I think 2-1, 2-1, 1-2. We are back to just a shade in the plus. If we lose the parlay today, we'll be back in the negative. So it's a big one for us today. Just to put a bow on the last person's comment, I again, A's and Cubs, there are going to be a lot of good options in that game. I would target that game. Look at the guys that have the best sort of hitting matchups. Look at the guys hitting near the top of the order and target that game for hits, runs, RBIs. You could even maybe look at an over. That wind is blowing out at Wrigley today. All right, TB, I am I'm torn. I got 3 different games. However, okay, I can't use the Padres because you used that one. So that helped me out, because Padres plus 1.5 was one I did consider. I'm going to use the Giants. I'm going Giants plus 1.5. I think that is the one where if Adrian Hauser can just survive those first couple innings, that's going to be a very competitive game. And I don't know if the Brewers are overvalued. They probably are. You're probably being forced to pay a premium for the Brewers. But the Giants are definitely undervalued, in my opinion. They're better than this. I'm telling you right now, this Giants team is going to – I think they have a good June. It's only June 4th, so I'm going to make that claim right here. I think the Giants have a good June. I think they can at least keep it within 1 run today. So I'll take Giants plus 1.5. Do you see a price on that one right now? I'm going to look as well.
I do not.
I got minus 125, and that is what it was everywhere coming into the show.
Sure.
So I'm fine with that. So this is going to be Giants plus 1.5, minus 125, which gives you a 2-teamer for today. So Tokyo Brandon, nice little early 2-teamer. Listen, we covered some of the later games, so there's plenty for you to get involved with if you tune into the show late. Newton says Kurt's going yard today. I don't hate that. He's another one, like bat on the ball, great power. I could see him getting one off Imanaga for sure. But yeah, Tokyo Brandon, first 5, Padres under 4.5, minus 115. And I'm going to go Giants for the full game plus 1.5, minus 125. That's your 2-teamer for today. Tokyo Brandon, take us out. Promo that great special that you have one more time.
So Adam and I together have a double play. Actually, Brian's included as well. You can get 2 of us 3 for 3 days, huge discount. And since I'm number 1 in MLB the last 30 days and number 1 all sports the last 30 days, WagerTalk's doing a special for me, which is TB100 is the code. You can get $100 off the rest of my baseball season through the World Series. So a couple specials you can get. So do that.
Sports
We're going
fan,
late
listen.
today because Brian's
not here, so we
here.
can go a couple extra minutes. Brian's
always the grumpy gatekeeper who's like, all right, I got to get out of here.
It's not that he's grumpy. It's that he literally this show literally starts his day and then he has to do other shows. So he doesn't he really it's huge that he does this show 6 a.m. Eastern in his time every day.
And he doesn't have his plays out yet. He doesn't have.
Yeah, they want us off by the 45 mark, but if it's just me and TB, we're always going to drag it out a little bit longer. Sports fan, this is what I'm saying. The list goes on in that A's Cubs games. Brett Rooker's another great option. There's quite a few good options in that game. And you know what? How about a Yurfie? How about a yes run first inning in A's Cubs? I could definitely see a run being scored right off the rip there.
I absolutely could see that as well. I like Ginn as well. But yeah, I could see that. I certainly could. And the Yankees Guardians game, I could see a run in the first inning in that one too. Just throwing it.
Yeah, but Ginn, and I like Ginn too, but he's definitely prone. Wind's blowing out, he'll give up a bomb at some point, I think. So yeah, that is
could be right away.
Yeah, that is it's just we've touched on I think 6 of the 9 games. We've given you a couple plays, double play package on the site for all the plays we make today. TB number 1 for the last 30 days. I'm 6-1 on my last 7 baseball plays. We're both hot. Let's have another winning day. Hopefully Brian feels better. Either way, you've got a show at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning with us. Like I said, hopefully Brian is back, and we will see you guys in the morning.